Welcome to another edition of Coach Taylor's YouTube channel dealing with mathematics. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, wash your hands, be careful. Let's get started. So today we are going to talk about circles, and in the circles we're going to talk about how to find the area of a sector and the arc length of a the arc length, which arc length would be from this point to this point on the outside, so part of the circumference. Of course, area of a sector is the shaded region, how to find the area of the shaded region. So those are the two things we're going to talk about today. So let's get started with the area of a sector. To find the area of a sector, what we're going to do is we're going to find a partial area of a circle. Okay, to find the area of the circle, we take pi r squared. All right, but the partial area has got to do with the fractional part. So the formula to find the area of a sector is you take the degrees that you're given, you divide that by 360, and then you multiply that times pi r squared, which is the area of the whole thing. So what it's going to do is it's going to give you a fractional part of the area, and then you're going to multiply that by the area of the whole circle. Okay, so these are real simple, real easy to do, shouldn't take a whole lot of time. So here we go. Alright, to find, let's do this first one. It says find the sector area, use 3.14 for pi, round your answer to the nearest tenth. Alright, remember the tenth place is one place value behind the decimal. Okay, so let's set our problem up. Here we go. We're going to find the area. So we're going to go area equals degrees divided by 360. The degrees is 135 divided by 360. And we're going to multiply that times pi. Right here, pi, which is 3.14, because it told us to use pi, is 3.14, times the radius. The radius of this thing is 8. Remember, that's halfway across the circle. So we're going to go 8 squared. Now, remember, pi times 8 squared is going to be the total area of the circle. And this is the fractional part that we're going to use. Okay? So if I divide 135 by 360, I get 0.375 times 3.14 times 8 squared is 64. Now I multiply those three numbers out and I get 75.36. Now our instructions told us to round that to the nearest tenth. Here's the 10th place value, so I look here. Is that 5 or greater? Yes, it is, so that goes to 4. So our answer is 75.4. Now we're dealing with area of a sector. So we're going to take our units, which this is meters, and I'm going to go meters squared. So the area of our sector, this part right here, is 75.4 meters squared. And that's how you do those types of problems. Now, moving on to the next example. Find the area of the sector in terms of pi. So this time, instead of using 3.14, we're going to use pi and leave it pi. Okay? So this is how we're going to do this. All right? To find the area, I take degrees divided by 360. The degrees is 30. We go 30 divided by 360 times pi, which we're going to leave pi, times radius squared. The radius of this thing is 4. So we're going to go 4 squared. Okay, so that's going to give me 360 divided by 30 divided by 360 is 0.083 times, leave pi, times 4 squared is 16. Okay, now since this is pi and it stays pi, I'm going to multiply this times this, and I'm going to get 1.33 I'm going to bring down that pi, and that is my final answer, which would be kilometers squared. So my area of my sector right here, this sector right here, is 1.33 pi kilometers squared. Now if I want to change that into fractional terms, I know it is, this is 1 1/3, which equates to 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 is 4 over 3. And I would just bring down my pi. So this would be it also. So this answer and this answer are the same. They are the same. And that is how you find the area of a sector. All right, let's move on to finding arc length. All right, let's define what arc length is first. Arc length is the distance from one point to another point on the outside edge. So it's part of the circumference. And remember, to find the circumference of a circle, you multiply 2 times pi times r. But what we want is a fractional part of that. So we're going to take this fractional part, 90, the whole circle's 360, 90 divided by 360, and we're going to multiply it by the circumference. So that's how we would find the arc length of a sector. All right, here we go. Find the length of the arc intercepted by a central angle 90 degrees on a circle with a radius of 12 units. Use 3.14 for pi. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. All right, so let's set up our problem. I'm going to go AL is arc length, equals degrees, which is 90, divided by 360, times 2, times pi, times the radius, which is 12, and I'm ready to go. So 90 divided by 360 is 0.25, times 2, times 3.14, times 12. And if I multiply all that together, I get 18.84. It says round to the nearest tenth, so I'm going to round to the nearest this. So I look at this. Is it 5 or greater? No. So my answer stays 18.8. And this has no units, so we're just going to make units up. Let's just say it's inches. So it's not inches squared this time because it's not area. It's the distance. So we're just going to leave it inches. So from this point to this point is 18.8 inches. And that's how you do arc length. Now that's pretty simple. That's pretty simple and not complicated. All right, let's look at this one. This time we're going to find from this point all the way around to this point, what's the distance here? Okay, so the measurement of this arc is 315 degrees. So we're going to go arc length equals 315 divided by 360 times 2 times pi. Okay. Find arc length in terms of pi. So we're going to leave pi this time. Times the radius, which is 6. Okay. 315 divided by 360 is 0.875. Times 2 times pi times 6. Since this is pi and it stays pi, I multiply this times this times this. And I get 10.5. Pi stays pi. And I'm done. Since it's going to be inches because it said inches. Okay, now if I want to change that to a fraction, I'd go 10 and 1/2 is 10 times 2 is 20 plus 1 is 21. I'd go 21 pi over 2 inches. So this answer and this answer are the same answer. And that is how you find arc length. So I hope you've enjoyed how to find arc length and how to find the area of sector. You have a good day. We'll see you next time.